Ladies and gentlemen, what a game we just witnessed. David Pastrnak showing up finally in this series. Jeremy Sweeney keeping the boys in this game. A lot of chances I thought the Leafs definitely could have scored in, but I'm still in disbelief. I'm still in disbelief. Who else is going to be dumbfounded when Ullmark starts game one? Definitely be interesting to see what happens from here, you know? One thing we've been talking about, but what a game. You know, gotta focus on this here today, at least. Gotta focus on this here. This is, oh man, what a game, what a game. I don't have too many screenshots. I didn't prepare too much. I just wanted to hop on. I just gotta get a reaction. You know, this was insane. Hampus Lindholm won us this game. Goal, the assist on that David Pastrnak. Insane goal. Oh man, I'm still in shock. I'm still in shock. I'm still. This game was ridiculous. This game was ridiculous. I do have a few screenshots here though. I'm gonna pull these. I'm sorry, I'm looking at Twitter as well, just on my my other monitor. But see any updates? But Swayman saved this series. Absolutely. Jeremy Swayman was the only reason that the Bruins had a chance. You know, realistically, this Maple Leafs team, you have to give them credit. They were a very, very good team, but Swayman, I can't believe it. I honestly can't believe how much he influenced this series to go in the direction of the Boston Bruins. Yeah, Eric, I'll tell you what. After being as nervous as I was this series, I'm terrified of the Panthers. That Panthers team is a lot more dangerous in my mind than this Maple Leafs team. But after this series, you know, I can really see this team taking that next step after everybody is seemingly back to what we'd like to see from a Bruins team. You know, David Pastrnak back is the main thing. Yeah, Ryan, amazing game from, you know, in this amazing series from both these teams. Boston really had to fight. The Maple Leafs put up an amazing fight to come back here and make it difficult for the Bruins, I'll tell you that. And not easy on any Bruins fans either, but it was an excellent series from both sides. And, you know, it wouldn't be a Maple Leafs Bruins series if it didn't go 7 and it didn't go one or the other way. You know, but just so happened to go the Bruins' way this time. You know, I'm not trying to say it's in a bad way, but as most times it does, but it's always exciting to see one of these games go 7. Having the nerves stay up to here a bit when you'd like them to be around here, but controlling Reinhart is that's going to be the big thing for this Bruins team going into this next series. That's, you know, Chuck, Reinhart, even Sam Bennett, you know, those top guys. I guess it's kind of the same way as what we got to do with the Maple Leafs. I think this Panthers team is just much more well-rounded and working together with a much better goalie. I agree, Michael. The monkey has been off their back now. They kind of got those 3-1 nerves out of the system now, and I think they're kind of free to go, do what they want. You know, they have the open ice for them in the rest of this playoffs. So I'm excited to see what they can do. Lindholm was incredible, absolutely. Lindholm was the reason we won this game. Swayman, Lindholm, Pastrnak. I don't know if they were the 3 starters of the game. I'll see if I can figure that out, but they certainly should be. Mason Lohrei played fantastic this game. I gotta say, you know, you definitely seen a few times where the experience still was lacking a bit, but to take that big step up in this game, this situation, this series, I couldn't be happier for him. Also, is my mic fine? I have a new microphone, and I don't know. It should be good. I used this for the video earlier, but just making sure on the live if it's too loud, I can turn it down or whatnot. But just let me know. GG Boston from another Maple Leafs fans. Could have gone both ways. Good luck for the rest of the way. You know, again, Henry, an amazing series for both teams. A classic Boston-Toronto series. Now that the series is over, we can put, you know, the little subtle jabs to the side. And, you know, you got to give both teams credit, especially the Maple Leafs, making this series a lot more stressful than I had hoped. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Michael. Just wanted to make sure. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't screaming in your guys' speakers, but okay, hold on. Let me see. Is this good? This might be good. I don't know. I just turned it down a notch, but it should still be fine. Let's go, Nick. Let's go. Let's keep the wheels going on this. Head to Florida. No pressure on us now. Zero pressure. The Florida Panthers are supposed to be the team that goes out here and wins against everybody. Let's keep this on the back burner. Think about last season, what happened, how much revenge we want on this Florida team, and go out here, get an unlikely win, but I think we can do it. What's stopping us? This team now is new, brand new. The energy's there. The momentum is there. Beating the Maple Leafs. You've seen how loud TD Garden was here. Things are going up in this playoff series. I'm so excited to see what this next series holds. Jim Montgomery just said that Jeremy Swayman was our best player in this series, and thank God he's right. Vancouver Boston rematch clue. That would be one. That would be one for the history books. I would absolutely love to see it. I think both these series for Vancouver and for the Bruins up next going to be a very tough matchup. Edmonton's looking a very solid team, and we know how good Florida is, and especially after what last season had. I'm excited to see what happens. I'm very, very excited to see. But right now, we got to focus on this. I'm going to put the screenshots I got. First one, obviously, we got the 4 check marks. Series 1 down. Let's start the next one versus the Panthers. Get a game 1 win. How about that? I think that's a nice way to start this one off. But once again, lots of stuff going to happen over these next few days. Very few days actually until game 1. But the momentum's hot. They're there. This team's ready to go. I think they could have gone another 60 if they needed to here tonight. I seen the energy down a bit in the third period, but that came right back up just immediately after. I don't know who said something on the bench, Jim Montgomery, whoever it was. They did the right thing. But gotta say, Jim Montgomery, very good today in his choices, decisions. Sitting that fourth line, in that point, the third period, when we needed it. And I'm very happy he actually came and finally decided to do that. I think Ullmark has the way with Florida off the bat. Give Swayman some rest, and Ullmark has a better record versus Florida. I agree. I think that we're going to see Ullmark here take game 1, especially where the series are going to start so close to each other. And you got to give Ullmark back that spot. It sucked to see him on the bench, but you had to start Jeremy Swayman. There was really no option. I'm not going to say that we would have lost this series if Ullmark was in net, but Jeremy Swayman was just too good against this Maple Leafs team. It really is that's the simple way to put it. 1993 was the last time the Canadian team won the Stanley Cup. 1 down, 2 Canadian teams to go. You got that right. We got 2. We're gonna have 1 eliminated in that Vancouver and Edmonton series. So it's gonna be interesting to see what's gonna happen from there. Both those teams looking very good. I can see both those teams going deep in those playoffs. But right now, we gotta focus on this Panthers team. Then we'll focus on who we're gonna be playing later on in these playoffs. We gotta keep our eyes on in front of us right now. But I'm gonna pull up the wrong screenshot. Sorry, stat chart. I just want to put this up. You see a lot of positive here. Love this. Charlie McAvoy put me in some bad places here tonight, and it was not an easy time watching his game. There was definitely some plays where I had questioned what he was doing. Not the most ideal plays in some scenarios. Could have shot the puck many occasions, but DeBrusk was very solid. Yes, he was. DeBrusk is, I would say, a top 5 on this series from this team. He was a guy that was keeping the energy up on whatever line he was on at whatever point in the game, in whatever game of the series. That's his role, and he filled that very, very well. Swayman Miller looked like prime Brodeur this entire series. He was. The confidence that he showed, and when make a crazy save, he was just smiling and looked like there was no pressure on him. Looked like he was just relaxing in the net, and that's exactly what I wanted to see. If I seen Jeremy Swayman not smiling, out of character for him, I would have been a bit nervous then. But this entire series played, honestly insane, out of this world. If I'm going to be honest with you, hats up to him. Absolutely, I can't even explain how much this series would have changed if he was not in net. Honestly, I know Ullmark's so good, but just the difference between what Swayman did in this series is unbelievable. It really is unbelievable. I got the box score here as well. Well, we don't need the box score too much. We can see, we know what happened for most of this game here. That goal from Pastrnak. So happy to have him back. So happy to finally see him be comfortable. And what Jim Montgomery did, calling him out, I guess you could say, really, really worked. And that's what, whatever he needed to do, he did. And it worked out. But Lindholm as well. Lindholm was fantastic. Lindholm was so good. Montgomery saved his job calling up Pastrnak. Honestly, he did. He needed to light a fire under these guys, and that was really the way to do it. Pastrnak was frustrated. We had seen it, but he just couldn't get out of that slump. But, this game, this moment, this scenario, calling him out and everything like that, it worked out perfectly. It worked out exactly how this team wanted, and it had to be a storybook ending. A Game 7 versus the Boston Bruins, versus the Toronto Maple Leafs in Boston. It just couldn't go any other way. It couldn't. Yeah, McAvoy, power forward is a good way to put it. That's definitely a good way to put it. And he certainly wasn't a defenseman. It was some plays where I questioned what he was trying to do, at least some pretty bad turnovers, but it's behind us now, and he'll be back to normal. I'll put the box score again. I don't know how much time. Yeah, 29 minutes time on ice. Like, I played half the game, which is what we expect from Charlie McAvoy, but a lot of that was a lot of back and forth, a lot of offense, a lot of defense, whatnot. But the offense was a bit tough. Yeah, Robert, we're going to need the luck in the next round. I'll tell you that. This is not going to be an easy matchup, just as it wasn't against the Maple Leafs. The Bruins, wouldn't say they're a top team in these playoffs. They definitely have a little bit of a lacking roster, but, they can pull... What we've seen pull off tonight, they can do that again. They can certainly do that again. Now that, this confidence, this team kind of got this out of their system, got a little weak series, and now they looked good this game, and I'll tell you that. They looked good this game. This playoff series was definitely a roller coaster. That is a very good way to describe it. We're going up early, thinking that this series was going to be ours, going down 3-1, thinking that this team just disappeared. We don't know what happened. They come out here, this game, ready to go, get the win in overtime. David Pastrnak goal finally shows up in this series, and just storybook. It was a storybook. They beat Florida 4 times a year. That is true. Now, I think this Florida team is a very good playoff team. They're built for the playoffs, so that's going to be one thing I think is going to be a bit of an issue. But other than that, we can certainly keep up with them. I don't think that's in question. It's just they have a lot of good players. A lot of people are going to have to cover. Similar to what we did with the Maple Leafs. We're just going to have to keep it locked in the entire time. That's on Justin Brazeau's game. I liked him. I really liked this game today. I got to say, he took that next step. I think he finally got his feet back under him after, coming back from injury. Not playing too much practice, then coming into a game scenario in the playoffs. But tonight seemed like the old Justin Brazeau that we had seen before, and he was very, very good tonight. Very, very good tonight, and I'm expecting him, or at least hoping that he will continue this going on into next series. If he is, that's going to be big, because we're going to need some big bodies against this Florida team. They are a very physical team. Great atmosphere tonight as well. Absolutely, that TD Garden was buzzing, especially after that Lindholm goal, that first one. Right after the Maple Leafs scored, that place was on wheels ever since that goal, and it was just a perfect situation for this team to go into, and keeping this energy high for this team. Boston changed their breakout patterns. I did notice a bit different. They felt better, or they looked better getting out of the zone. They they weren't turning it over. They weren't trying to make a breakout and then have it turned over mid like neutral zone or around the blue line or just dump it in. Like, they felt comfortable pacing this offensive game into the Maple Leaf zone, and it was very, very good. I gotta say, very, very good. Yeah, honestly, I gotta say, goalie got. You're right. I don't know how this game would have gone if Joseph Woll was in. I gotta say, Samsonov played very, very well. The game could have gone either way, even with Samsonov and net, but Joseph Woll still had a very good series. You have to give him credit. Don't care if you're a Bruins fan, a Maple Leafs fan. I don't care if you don't even watch hockey. You have to give him credit for how good he played here in this series, and as well as Samsonov in this game. Very good. Yeah, they shot more. That's really the big thing that they need to do is just get some pucks on net. They needed to create scoring chances. They needed to create anything they could to get some momentum going. That was really the big thing. A puck on net is 3 scoring opportunities: a rebound, cover, get a face off, or it's going in the net. So creating more opportunities is going to basic math comes out more goals, and exactly what they did, exactly what they needed to do. Pasta definitely did step up. His game tonight was what we've been missing this entire series. A goalie matchup for this, it was, honestly, a very unlikely matchup, to be honest with you, with Samsonov playing good, Woll playing amazing, getting hurt, unfortunately. Hope he's okay, kind of sucks to not see him in this game, but for our sake, lucky, I'm very sad he's hurt. Love him. Joseph Woll's a very good goalie, but for this game, it just worked out fine, I'm gonna put that to the back, though. Should not have played Matthews. They didn't even use him that much, to be honest with you. Like, he was definitely out there. He was on a lot of different lines. He didn't seem to be able to get comfortable, but I still think he's hurt. I do think he's still hurt here in some way. Whatever's wrong with him, I don't really know. But he didn't seem like himself. He didn't this whole series. I'm assuming that could have been hurt before, but either way, the Matthews that we've seen tonight wasn't the Matthews that we'd seen in the regular season. Yeah, that first goal Boston scored was a tough one. That would have been saved by Woll. That was not the prettiest goal, I'll tell you that. It was a very telegraphed shot by Hampus Lindholm too. Yeah, like Kevin, you're right. The more shots to get on the goalie, the higher the chance that misses one slightly, bounces off, a shoulder, a blocker, a glove, a stick, or whatever, and trickles in. So the more shots you can get, the better that you'll end up here in the game. And really, that's what we've seen tonight. The Bruins definitely didn't have enough shots in these 2 losses after the 3-1 lead. But tonight, we've really seen that they were just trying to get the puck on net whatever situation they were in, and turn it into something good. And we've seen that here tonight, especially on the dump in Pastrnak, the whole overtime situation, but just as well as the entire second and third and first period. The whole game was exactly what they needed to do, and hopefully they'll continue this into the Florida series, because Bobrovsky is going to be a tough guy to beat, and we're going to need Pastrnak, Marchand, all these guys at the top of their game if we actually want a chance to be able to score, 2, 3, even 4 a game. So it's going to be a tough series, but I believe we can do it. I said I believe this entire season. For those of you guys who were here before the playoffs started, I was like, I believe we can beat the Maple Leafs. Like, I believe we can beat whoever we needed to in the first round. Just so happened to be the Maple Leafs, although we thought it was going to be Tampa, but now we got a bigger matchup. I still believe that we can win this series. I'm still confident from what we've seen tonight, from what this team showed. I don't think there's a team in the NHL that can stop us right now. Swayman MVP of the series, no doubt, absolutely. Absolutely. Jeremy Swayman is the only option for the whole series. This game, Hampus Lindholm, David Pastrnak, Justin Brazeau, Jeremy Swayman. You could give a whole lot in this game, but this series, the only reason we won this series was Jeremy Swayman. And I'm excited to see what Linus Hallmark can do here in this series, too. Very, very excited to see what happens here. I think he turns knee when McAvoy side suplexed him. Yeah, whatever happened to Matthews, he wasn't himself. I think that's a fair assessment to say here. Yeah, the Maple Leafs got an interesting few months coming up ahead of them. A lot of people are saying Marner might be traded. Marner has to go. Sheldon Keefe has to go. I'm a firm believer in the Sheldon Keefe aspect of it. Marner's a bit tougher because, all the contract stuff and the no trade clause. I think he has one or no move clause. One of the two. It's going to be tough, but I'm sure teams will want him regardless. But it'll be interesting to see what they do. If they blow it up completely, if they make a few moves, but I don't know what Toronto has in store for this offseason, to be honest with you. They've tried a lot and nothing's really seemed to work out, but this series, I think, showed that something needs to happen for sure. Another Game 7 loss to the Bruins, and it's just a tough one. Hey, Christine, I wasn't stopping regardless. Even if this was the last game, we had a very busy offseason to cover, but we only have more playoff hockey now. More excitement. A bigger series, I will say. Might not be as exciting, but this one's going to be a lot tougher, and I honestly can't wait for this series to start. Successful season for the Bruins, the players they lost from last season. The offseason, they will have a lot of cap room to upgrade their team. That's going to be a big part of this Bruins team. This team will no doubt be better than this season. The amount of money we're getting, Jeremy Sweeney is going to have a new contract. Having that all settled out, I think will ease the minds of a lot of fans, a lot of the staff on this team, and it's just going to be a very interesting offseason for the Bruins as well. I shouldn't mention just the Maple Leafs, but the cap's going to be nice to have for this team here. Yeah, that OT goal that had to be a written up play. There was no way it wasn't. It was too perfect to not be a written up play off that boards, but that was just the perfect bounce. The perfect bounce. Leafs Digest, I gotta say, what a series. You gotta give credit. The Maple Leafs played fantastic. This series, I think, could have gone either way. It just so happened to follow the path of history and, normally go to the Bruins, but I gotta say, Wall very unfortunately got hurt. Samsonov played fantastic, and it was just a fantastic series, and that's one for the books. I'll tell you that. Always a fun time playing the Leafs. Always is. That's my biggest worry about the Florida series. I think it's just how good they are as a team. They have, I don't want to say they don't have a weakness, because every team has a weakness, but it's very hard to spot. Their team is very, very solid. It's very depthy. They have a lot of size, a lot of physicality, a lot of offense, fantastic goaltending, a great coach, just all of that stuff kind of combined makes me think that this team is ready for anything. This team, we've seen last year what happened. Even though the Bruins were up, the Panthers are just such a well put together team. Incredible offense, incredible defense, incredible defensemen. Offense and defense on the forwards are both fantastic. It's just going to be a tough series regardless. Whatever happens. Reinhart's a free agent next year, and he's going to get paid. I will tell you that. He's going to get paid, whether it's in Florida. I can see him staying there. They want him. He wants to stay there, but I think whoever's going to offer the money, definitely going to be an opportunity to get him. It's going to be a lot of money, though. How did Brazeau looked fantastic. He looked so good. He looked like the old Brazeau that we had seen earlier in this season when he first came up, when he was first, rolling. And after that injury, that was definitely a setback. We seen the games that he played in these first few playoff games. Definitely was a set of a comeback game, I guess you could say. And tonight seemed like the first game where he actually felt comfortable, felt back to normal, and he looked really, really good. Really, really good. And I'm happy to say that this is going to be something that the Bruins need, and that was a huge fill. For those who are just tuning in as well, though, I wanted to mention Jim Montgomery. Fantastic coaching here in this game. A lot of people were questioning whether he'd be fired if this game was a loss, but he saved his job here tonight, whether or not he was on track for getting fired or whatnot. But the coaching they did today, sitting that fourth line when it mattered, unlike he did, unlike the previous games, he really had the confidence and he felt like he needed to sit that fourth line, because he did. He really, really needed to sit that fourth line in Pat Maroon. Getting a bit too much ice time for me here tonight, but it worked out perfectly. I liked exactly the way he coached this game today, and I think it just ended up perfect. I can't put it any other way. It was fantastic. Reinhart's 57 goals. Yeah, he had a fantastic season. Now, a lot of that I think is as well with the players around him. That team is just so good. You can put him on any line. and they'll produce, but you can't discredit 57 goals for just being something that, a player does. That's a fantastic compliment. A crazy one. Definitely a crazy one. I'm going to pull up a tweet which really describes well what I think this Florida series is going to be like. This one here is from the Bruins Network. Just give me one moment. Let me pull that up. This one here. Wouldn't be so quick to write off the Bruins in a 7-game series against the Panthers. Bruins have alleviated insane pressure on themselves by locking it in and closing out this series in dramatic fashion. Having a hot goalie and momentum can make all the difference. And I completely agree with this. This is exactly what we were just mentioning, too. I think a hot goalie will definitely be a big part of it. I do think, however, we'll see Ullmark a lot more this series. That's where I hope, at least. You can't let him waste away on the bench. I don't think you want to burn out Swayman either. So I think we could see maybe Ullmark in game 1, and then a Swayman in game 2, and then maybe we even see a rotation. But either way, it was just a perfect way to rotate the goalies here. Well, they didn't rotate, but to have the goalies play in this series. And we may see it again, in next as well, just to see what happens with Ullmark and Swayman against the Panthers. But I would like to see the goalie rotation here in this series, see how it would work, because we didn't need it last series. That's really the big part about it. Bruins in 7, you called it. Scored would have mattered most. Absolutely. Pasta had, all of the misfortunes this series were completely wiped out just because of that goal. And I'm willing to say that. I'm willing to say that whatever Pastrnak did wrong, all the slow start, I guess we could say, the lack of offensive production don't matter here, because this game, he was locked. We see him go up and down the ice so many times with that puck. And the overtime goal completely did this okay for me. I'm completely fine with how Pastrnak played this series because of that goal. But it was fantastic. Fantastic. We'll be Florida because this type of dub can springboard a team. Absolutely. A win like this can put incredible momentum on a team. And this Bruins team is a team to do that. The momentum that this team has now, especially after fighting back from a very, very hot Maple Leafs team. This team can only go up from here. Really, there's also, they can go down, but I don't see it happening with the way this team played here tonight and how little of a break they get. It'd be nice to have the rest, but this team is hot. The Panthers haven't played in a while. This team, right here tonight, they could be ready to go tomorrow night, and I would still feel confident that this Bruins team could pull it off here. Maroon is the secret reason that we won this game and potentially go on to win a few more series. That guy is a Stanley Cup magnet, which makes no sense, but Swayman owns Toronto. Oh, absolutely. Swayman needs the key to the city. Whether he got to go take it off someone's hands or whether the city of Toronto is just going to give it to him, he is getting that. He's getting that key to that city, and he's building a house right in the middle of it. Bruins have to get Tkachuk to be an enforcer and not a goal scorer. Exactly. Similar to what I think they try to get Domi to do in this series. We tried to get Domi to, which we did at the beginning of the series. He took a few penalties, but then he really smartened up, knowing that, the offense is more important for him in this scenario. And, we see how much better Domi got here in the series. So we need to kind of flip the script on Tkachuk, get him from an offensive scorer to take a few penalties, rock the power play, and continue on this hot streak. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Tkachuk's going to be someone that we need to keep a close eye on. He's an insane player, I gotta say. Panthers are weaker. Gudas is going to take a lot of penalties too. That's kind of the same scenario, I think, with Tkachuk. We're going to see... you're weaker without... Yeah, Gudas, yeah. Gudas is a goon. He's not even, he's not there to touch the puck. Bruins need some luck to beat the Panthers. Yeah, they will. They will need to. They're definitely going to need to get a few bounces. The best way to put it is get a few bounces, but still want to control the game. Now, the Panthers also going to need some luck too. The goalies here very hot on both sides. Starter and backup. Swayman, Ullmark, Bobrovsky. A Vezina candidate, Bobrovsky, last year's Vezina winner, and Ullmark, and Swayman, who just completely locked down the Maple Leafs. We're gonna have either a very low scoring series or a very physical series. It could be both, but I think it's gonna be one or the other. It's gonna be definitely a series that the Bruins I think are gonna like. The team is definitely not the physicality aspect of what it once was. The old school Bruins, the big bad Bruins, the Chara, the Lucic, those guys, but you can see the physicality earlier in this series and here in this game as well is still there, especially from guys like Maroon, Forbort, or not Forbort, sorry. I'm blanking. Give me 1 second. Let me pull up the box score. Frederic. Jesus. Okay, never mind. Trent Frederic. I completely lost my mind there. I actually had a bet on him being the first goal scorer today, but unfortunately didn't hit. But yeah, it's going to be a physical series that we're going to want to get involved in, but not too much. We don't want to fall into a Florida game. Because I think if that was the case, it would be a very tough series for the Bruins here. Yeah, Swayman is only, increasing his odds to get a higher contract than what we originally projected. I don't know if I mentioned in a video, like, when I started this channel, but I was thinking that we'd see a Swayman contract from, like, 6.5 to, like, 7.75. But from what we've seen here in this series, and what we're likely and hopefully going to see here for the rest of the playoffs, he could probably earn more. And I'd be willing to give him this if this is consistent. If he's a goalie that we think he is, and he thinks he is, he's deserving of that contract, no doubt. Trent Frederic has been I don't even think arguably, Stefan, he was the best center in this series, and I'm completely willing to say that. Very unlikely to be, but he was just a stud. He was really just a stud. Like, you're right. That's exactly what they're looking for, what they needed out of an unlikely guy. Let me see. Do I have the screenshot here from the video? I don't. Okay, but I had one in actually. Wait. I do. Here, yeah, right here. Trent Frederic, 3 goals, 0 assists, but like compared to the Jesper Boqvist, Charlie Coyle, Pavel Zacha and Coyle definitely have a bit of a different role than Frederic, but either way, still shows how good Trent Frederic has been this series. The 3 goals, 3 crucial goals as well, So I really hope this continues. Like, he kind of completely swung his career path a complete 180. Swayman deserves a blank check after this series. Give him his right whatever number he wants. The Bruins need to sign it. That's pretty much what we need to see here for Jeremy Swayman. But I'm still at a loss for words about this game. I'm gonna pull up I know I'm frozen right now. Give me 1 moment. I'm pulling up a screenshot about what Sheldon Keefe just said in an interview about this game. Sheldon Keefe says, when teams play the Leafs, they set up the game for the Leafs to beat themselves. That is an unbelievable quote for a coach to say. That is ridiculous. I know you guys know that I'm not a fan of Sheldon Keefe, but I can't believe that he said that. That is unbelievable. Okay, sorry I got distracted there, but that's crazy. That is Yeah, he's definitely on the hot seat, Leafs Digest. That's he's got to be gone. I don't even think it's a hot seat at this point. He's got to go. He really has to go. It's at the point now where it's got to be him and then, a few other moves. Yeah, it almost seems like he knows he's gone, kind of saying whatever he wants. But yeah, that was crazy. That was definitely an interesting quote. Quote here from Pastrnak as well, about what he felt like after his goal. And this is what you love to see. This is what you love to see right here. On his excitement after his emotion, in the OT game winner. Excitement, but also a little sense of relief as well. I was just really proud of how this group really stuck together throughout the series. Very, 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 very pleasing quote from David Pastrnak. Not saying nothing about himself. Proud of the team, proud of the group, stuck together, and really, this was a team win here in this game. No doubt, this was a team win. There was definitely some factors, some major players in this game, but yeah, he was right. Exactly what it was. Zacha was fine this series. I'm completely happy with how the centers played. It's just that Coyle and Zacha are kind of that two centerman, second centerman AB. I don't really think either of those are the quality first line center we'd all want, but it's a nice thing to have. Very good to have. Exactly, that's the pasta we know and love. Zacha's plus minus in the series. I can have a look. Give me 1 second. See. Stats. Bruins. Plus minus. Is there? There's no category for that. Zacha. Pavel Zacha this series was a -1. I will I'll pull this up here. See right here. Where's 2? Right here. -1 for this series, but for his role, I'm not mad. From what we've seen from this series, I'm perfectly fine with it. But we're gonna need everybody to step up here. In this next series, no doubt. That's gonna be a really big part of it. Thank you, Stefan. I appreciate that. Y'all just delivered the death blow to the core 4. You never know. It's going to be tough to move those guys because of their contracts and everything, the price, and the no move clause, no trade clause, and whatnot. But I think it's going to be an interesting summer for them. Appreciate it, Paul. Appreciate it. Definitely a tough series. Definitely a tough series, but it's always a fun one to play the Maple Leafs. Although it's very stressful, that was a tough one. Yeah, no, the 12 goals in this series just shows how good Swayman has been. That he was the X factor in this series. I think that's safe to say as well. I'll pull up a goalies here. Let me see. I can't. I'll show you. Nope, not Buffalo. Yeah, no playoffs for them. Let's hope Lindholm continues his momentum in the next series. I do hope so. Look at these numbers from Jeremy Swayman. This is ridiculous. That's more than a $7-8 million contract goalie to me. I'll be honest with you. Now, Swayman got that confidence that Tim Thomas kind of had. It wasn't cockiness, but it was a confidence that he showed off a bit. And I like that. I think that's a good way to act as a goalie. You don't want to give anything away, but it's a very good looking a very good looking look, I guess you could say, for the for a starting goalie. It's it's this time of the season though, boys. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'll say this: it's our time. After this series, we're on fire. We're going into Florida. We're going their home territory. We're going to take this series. We're going in their home. We're going to keep it on the hot streak. These boys are rolling. Whether it's Linus Ullmark, whether it's Jeremy Swayman, I don't care who it is. These guys know what time it is, and it's going to be a very, very good series versus these Florida Panthers. Timmy still on his head in Game 3 in 2011. I can see Swayman doing the same. He has been so far. Honestly, it's a very sneaky, accurate comparison. Kind of very different style. I was going to say kind of the same play style, but very different style from nowadays, from what we've seen from Tim Thomas to a modern day goalie. But Tim Thomas was always definitely an odder play style, kind of like I'm not comparing him to Dominic Hasek, but that kind of unpredictable goaltending style, and it works, and it really works. So, and most of those goals were pretty much unblockable, like the one off McAvoy. Yeah, the goals that Swayman let in, a lot of them were, no, I don't want to say rebounds, because he didn't let up rebounds to let a goal in, an easy goal, but it's on the third or fourth stop when it's not on him. It should be on the defenseman or the forwards to clear the puck out, get it out of the house in front of the net, and just kind of clear it. But the goal that Nylander scored today, there was no saving that. Let's be honest, there was really no saving that. That was just a beautiful pass to a beautiful shot, and he almost had it. Beyond my comprehension, how he almost had that. Even being a goalie myself, from that pass to just being a few inches off. Unbelievable. But Jeremy Swayman definitely has got a big offseason and then next season ahead of him too. But he's right now, remember what we've seen earlier in this series, he's locked on this playoffs. Tampa played okay against Florida, but they got all the breaks and calls. Yeah. Tampa didn't look like themselves in these playoffs. I'll be honest with you. He didn't look like themselves. But they definitely had that fight still. But I think the Bruins right now, from what we're seeing here in this series, from what we've seen here today in this game, I think they're going to come out hotter than Tampa's looked all series. Come out and just simply pull this one off. I'm confident. I'm feeling very confident from what I've seen tonight that the Bruins can do this, no doubt. Carlo blew a tire. Yeah, that's the reason for the goal. Initially I thought it was a trip. I was kind of freaking out, not gonna lie, but when we look back at it, and it was just a unfortunate play, unfortunate turnover, a bad turnover, but just an unfortunate situation, goal. But that's behind us now. The Bruins got this one, baby. Let's get it. Did I ever have aspirations to go pro? No, I definitely did. I definitely, every kid's dream is to definitely go far, but it was really just, midget AA, school hockey. That's really the extent of my experience, but the height wasn't in my favor. So being a goalie nowadays, you got to be like 6'3", 6'4" and above, but not in my skill range, I guess you could say. You think Grizz will stay out the lineup? Yes, I think he will, and I hope he does. I really, really hope he does, because if he don't, we are in deep, deep trouble. Yeah, Grizzly he's not bad, but I think that he just don't have that, the physicality to match what the Florida Panthers are going to offer. He gets pushed off the puck a lot. He kind of gets bullied in the corners and stuff like that, but the size is definitely going to be what we need, and Lowry is that guy right now. He played a fantastic game as well today. Yeah, Grizzly, it just is. I think he feels pressure with the puck where he don't have the opportunity to, settle it down, think about the play first, and he kind of rushes it. So right now in this scenario, we can't have that. So I think lower is the option. I really do. I hope so. I hope that continues. I hope there's no more injuries. Remember, we have Andrew Peak still. You never know when he's going to come back. He was skating today, earlier this morning for the morning skate, but was not available tonight. So you never know. Ren on. I don't know how to pronounce your name, but you were right. You were right. I gotta say, this Bruins team, they showed a lot of adversity here in this series, this game, and this really proved a lot to us. Prime Tuukka Rask numbers? No, you're pretty close. You're pretty close on that. I gotta say, maybe a bit better, but I'm not gonna say anything. Yeah, we're gonna need the size against Florida. That's gonna be our biggest thing. Like the Florida Panthers is the big team. Even the guys that aren't physical, they're huge, and that's gonna be a really big problem for a guy like Matt Grzelcyk, who isn't the strongest, isn't the biggest, and especially in front of the net, the corners, it's gonna be a real big issue because we know Matthew Tkachuk's gonna be floating around those circles, pop in front of the net every now and again, and then try and bully whoever's in front of the net out of there. But that's gonna be the big thing to watch here. Absolutely, Z-Man. Ups and downs, but we knew this team could pull it off. We're kind of scared to say it. Didn't want to jinx anything, but we all knew it. We all knew this team could do it. It was just a matter of time until this team clicked, and they did it at the perfect time here in this game. Adam, I think I am too, to be honest with you. I'm wired. I blacked out after the goal. I had to go rewatch what happened afterwards, but yeah, it was what a moment. I think it's the best way to say it. We need to come out here, Adam, you're right. We need to show Florida that we're not scared of getting hit. We're not scared of, any collisions center ice along the boards or whatnot. Really just go in, show, don't try and dump and chase too much. Now, obviously, we got to do that to be able to establish an offensive zone pressure, but you don't want to do it every situation where there's going to be a guy that's going to hit you. That's one thing that we need to keep an eye on. Any news on Forbert? Forbert he's healthy, I'm pretty sure. He was in the warm-ups in game 5 or 6. I think it was 5. He was in the warm-ups, but that was only to get him back into a game scenario from his injuries. So I think he's available, but I think they're going to try and keep him at the lineup just because the situation he's in right now, he's not really game ready, I would say, just because he's been out so long. He has not had any game action, and I think it would just be a major hit to the defense to put him in cold with how good we've seen this defense play over this last little while. Brian, the goal, I'm telling you, unreal. I completely agree with you. It was picture perfect, down to the bounce off the boards, to David Pastrnak getting it, to, about that much between the skate of Ilya Samsonov and the post, and the puck just going straight through. It was a storybook. It was a fairy tale scene for this Maple Leafs team, or for this Bruins team against the Maple Leafs. And it just had to be against the Maple Leafs. We know that. It had to be. If it was any other team, it may have played out differently, but a Game 7 overtime in Boston against Toronto, we see it too much that we know how special it is, and it just gets better every time that we see it. I think Swayman showed he deserves the number one goalie organization for the next 10 years. Honestly, I completely agree with you. He's still super young. Ullmark, I think I'd love to keep him. I think he may stay next season. I don't even think we're going to trade him in the offseason. I think it's still going to be another year to transition more to Swayman getting a higher percentage of the games, because we still haven't seen that yet. And I don't think it's a great idea to just put him in there for, 20 more games than he regularly plays. But we have Brandon Bussi as well, who's going to be a fantastic goalie as well. Backup for a little while. Great AHL goalie as well right now, but he's still going to have a lot of time to develop. I think he'll be a perfect backup for Swayman when the time comes, and we're going to have another nasty tandem in a few years. I'm very excited to see that. definitely the penalty kill was incredible. You're right. I completely forgot to mention that. Thank you for actually reminding me. The penalty kill that we had seen this entire series has been absolutely fantastic. The lethality, or the how dangerous this Maple Leafs power play was, it looked like it was child's play here in this series. We shut them down every opportunity they had, even against their top talent. Now, granted, we know William Nylander was out there earlier in the series. Matthews, I don't think was healthy at all this series, but either way, those two guys are still there. Their shots are still very dangerous, and in every opportunity we had, we really, really played well on all those situations. No, their power play is great, but the penalty kill for the Bruins is just unmatched, I can actually see what the power play percentage was for the Maple. I'll see if I can find it. Maple Leafs power play percentage. I'm going to search it up on StatMuse. Very good website for those if you're looking for any kind of weird stat like that. The penalty kill percentage is here, but their power play isn't. Oh, never mind. The power play percentage is 23.9 this season for the Maple Leafs. Let me pull this up as well. There we go. Oh, my camera's in the way. Hold on. Let me move that 1 second. You can see there. Oh, my bad. Oh, no, let me move it over here. There we go. Yeah. So, a very good power play, no doubt. And we really shut them down this entire series. Wasn't Toronto 10% of the series? There was something like that. I don't even know if it was 10%. Let me see in this work. 4.8% in this season's power play percentage. This power play percentage in the playoffs. 4.8%. That is unbelievable. That's, yeah. Well, there you go, Stefan. That's a number for you. That is definitely a number for you there. I actually didn't know it was that low, to be honest with you. I knew last time I looked at it, it was 12 to 15%, but now, geez, that's not a bad stat to take in there. Some of my complaints on the second was the way that many icings and turnovers along. Yeah, it's the game. I wouldn't say was the cleanest on the dump ins and everything like that. The icings, a lot of icings where they dumped it just too short and everything like that. But that was kind of the way the game just rolled along. Even the Maple Leafs did it here in this series. But either way, I think it was a necessary time for the situation. It was very unfortunate that some of the players couldn't get off in certain scenarios. But looking back on it, it worked out. It wasn't ideal at the time, but it all played out in favor for us. The Bruins need more flowers. For how great the defense was, and Sweeney was obviously a major part. Yeah, the defense was really good. It was honestly, I wouldn't say surprising good, because we know that this defense is really good, but they held their own, especially in the games where no offense was produced at all from this Bruins team, when we choked that 3-1 lead. And I'm confidently saying that now because it's over. The stress is gone, but in those games, there was no offense, and the defense and Swayman really had to hold us in this game to at least have a chance. But the offense still couldn't produce, and in those scenarios, that's really where it shows the difference from a playoff defense, a veteran-in defense, and a defense that, is just there to make sure this game don't get out of hand. But this Bruins defense really showed how good they are under pressure and in different scenarios here in this playoff series. If we can shut it down a dangerous offensive team like that in a series, we can certainly shut down Florida. Absolutely, It's going to be a similar series, but different, if you know what I mean. It's going to be similar to what we've seen. That offense and everything is going to be still a very high-pressure opportunities from the Panthers. It's going to be a physical team like the Maple Leafs. But ultimately, it's just another series where you got to acknowledge your opponent, know they're good, but play your own game. Don't get spoiled into their game. Play your own game. And we've seen playing their own game here in this series, the Bruins. It worked out perfectly for them, and we got to the point we wanted, and just once again a very fantastic playoff series. And I can't believe still the way it went and the way it ended off. It was picture perfect for me. Yeah, Deoxys, I know it just looks so weird because I'm tilting my head right now. But if it was the other way, it just feels so weird. But hold on, let me pull it off right here. Hold on. How do I do this? I can't remember. There we go. Yeah, now it just seems really weird. But there you go. I'll show you. Don't mind my hair too. I've had this hat on all day. Gotta represent. Keep it on. I didn't have it on in the pregame, or the video earlier. I was scared because last time I wore this hat, we lost both games, but we got it. We got it back, and it's a perfect situation for us right now. Ace, you're right. That game was a coin flip. However, Deoxys, I'm switching this camera back around because it looks so weird. I'll get used to it, and I'll permanently change it over. But right now, it just looks really weird because I see myself right in front of me. There you go. Yeah, so like now it's exactly like my left hand to my okay. You know what I'm saying. But I'll get used to it. Don't worry. Deoxys, you can't unsub now. And listen, I'll change it back. I gotta get used to it. But we're all good here. We're good. Austin, it's going to be an interesting series. But, I don't know about 5. Florida's definitely a fantastic team. A very, very good team. I am still nervous for this series once again, as I was for the Maple Leafs, but after what we've seen today, I my confidence has kind of gone from, here to here. I'm still not all the way yet, but it's on the road for it. I fully believe Bergeron needs to honor a rally flag waiver. Yes. If it works, it works. We got to keep it. Honestly, I'd like him somewhere near the dressing room at all times, but don't, Deox, I will change. I promise. I don't know. I'll cover up my camera or something next time on my screen so I can't see it. No, Stefan, I had it on the game. I didn't have it on this morning, but I had it on in the game. So it worked out. I had the Carhartt hoodie on, the yellow one. I had the other one. I've got a Bruins jersey, so I had to represent the colors, but it worked out well. Ian, you're right, man. You were right. Hampus Lindholm, he played fantastic this game. Swayman, the MVP of this series, and Pastrnak finally got that monkey off his back, got that goal. We're rocking with him. Yeah, it definitely won't be Bruins in 4. I'll tell you. Now, once again, I'll be happy, but it's definitely going to be another similar series to what we've seen here tonight. Or, well, not tonight, but this entire series is going to be a close one. I'll tell you that. I start Swayman versus Panthers, and if he wins, but if he loses, bring in Ullmark. Ian, that's what we were talking about earlier, too. I'm thinking that we might start Ullmark in Game 1. I think we might start Ullmark in Game 1. Make sure, that Swayman is rested. Make sure he's healthy and everything. I'm sure he is. He looked very, very good this game. After the game, you've seen him skate out, but he looked good. But I still think a break would definitely benefit him. I don't think you want to burn him out. But I really would like to see Ullmark here a few games in the series. I still think that he is... once again, another fantastic goalie, but I'm excited. Ace, my Rangers are waiting for you once we beat the Canes. That's going to be a good series, too. A Boston Ranger series. I dig it. I'd like to see it. I'd like to see how that plays out, to be honest with you. How's it going, Mr. Jaggers? How'd you find this game? How'd you feel the game? The overtime goal. What'd you think about it? Now, Ace, you're right. The Bruins very, very happy they won, but they shouldn't feel good about this series. You're absolutely right. Those 2 games that they played, Game 5 and 6, those games were some of the worst hockey I've seen in a long time. Apart from watching like the San Jose Sharks or the Chicago Blackhawks or any team that's like bottom 5. But from this series, I think there's a lot of points they can take out, use for the future, and future, next series, and take the positives out of it, and leave the negatives there, and work on those throughout this next series. But you're absolutely right. They can't think this series was exactly what they needed to do, but there was a lot of things they did which they need to continue to do, if you know what I mean. Your prediction is Avalanche versus the Bruins or Rangers. That's an interesting one. I wouldn't be able to tell you right now what I think. I think I need to see a game 1 of the second round just to be able to see. Game 7 tomorrow night versus Dallas and Vegas. That's going to be a really good one. I'm excited to see that. I think Dallas is a lot deeper of a team than what the Avalanche have. I know that might be crazy, but I think they have a lot better depth players. Both teams are very depthy, offense, defense. But I also do think Dallas has the advantage on the has the advantage in the goaltending. So it's gonna work out fine, I think. But either way, I think the Bruins could really go far on these. I don't want to jinx anything, but I think they could. I am as well, Ian. I can't believe I wouldn't be able to fathom if they blew another 3-1 lead back-to-back years. We'd never hear the end of it. We never would. That's and that's just fact. Like, not much we could have done at that point. Yeah, you're right, Steph. He does need to shake off that rust. We can't leave Ullmark on the bench too long, because if he does, he'll get cold. Now, I know Ullmark is such a good goalie that, I won't say he'll get rusty, but he's still practicing every day and whatnot. But game action is definitely different than a practice scenario. So hopefully that he will get a game early in this next series. Sorry, I got a new mic. I'm still toying around with it, still playing with it, just seeing. I did turn it down earlier, I asked earlier, and should be good. It might have just popped for a minute, but I'm still trying to figure it all out. It's a bit more of an advanced one, but we gotta see. Was anybody watching the Sportsnet broadcast as well? I don't know if they showed it on, I don't know what it was in America, but the Sportsnet broadcast showed the 2013 Game 7 in overtime. Hell's Bells with Reimer on the ice. That just reminded me from Tom. Yeah, you just reminded me of that. Was anybody watching that? That was crazy. I really enjoyed that, I gotta say. Now, from the Bruins standpoint, what you like to see, but it was crazy. Yeah, Deoxys, it is the Leafs. We still have a lot more challenges to come. The Leafs are just the start of it, but they can't say that this was a good series, and they still need to work on that. They can't take that mindset that they had all series into next one against Florida. Yeah, the Avalanche do have a lot more star power, Ace. You're right about that. Makar, McKinnon, Rantanen, Valerian Nichushkin, he's playing amazing too. They've all been just really good on that side. Now, they're also sitting a long time too after playing Winnipeg, so could see something change around there, but I think that team is just too good to have any loss like that. Ian, you're right. Boston was the team to beat, and Florida did it. This year, now Florida's the team to beat. The Bruins are coming off a hot game here in Game 7. I'm excited to see what comes next. This team is going to. I think they're gonna take what they had last season in this in that round 1. I don't want to talk too much on. Don't want to bring back no bad memories, but it's a fantastic opportunity here to get revenge. Use what you learned last season and continue the hot streak you got on going here. You have 2 hot goalies. Ullmark, very hot at the end of the season. Played a very good game here in round 1 as well, but the offense just didn't show up in game 2. As well as Swayman. He's here right now. He is as high as you can go, and I'm here for him. Stefan, I don't know, to be honest with you. I really don't know who's going to win that game. I think I want Dallas to win. I think I hate Vegas. I can't stand that team. But I think Dallas has the better team, and so I hope that's how it I hope that's how it plays out. I'm gonna be honest with you. I hope that's how it plays out. No, you're right, Stefan. Toronto showed a lot of great just by even coming back here in this game, being able to, or not in the game, sorry, in the series, being able to bring this back from 3-1. You're all but out at that point. You know, you're about to go home. They storm back 2 really big wins where they completely dominated the Bruins. The Bruins had no chance in those games apart from Swayman. Swayman was keeping those in them in there, but apart from that, it was it was a tough few games there for those, and the Maple Leafs played really, really well. Even tonight, we even seen it tonight that this team was really good. And if Joseph Woll was in net, this could have been a different story. So you never know what happens here. Yeah, it was really unfortunate that Woll got injured. You don't want anybody to get injured. That sucks. But for the Bruins' sake, right now, they just caught a lucky break. So, it does suck, but it is what it is. It's a hockey game. People are going to get hurt, and it's just unfortunate timing for the Maple Leafs here. I believe the East is much grittier than the West this year. If you get through the East East should take the cup. Sleeper in the West will be the Canucks. Yeah, I agree. The Canucks are a dangerous team. I think they're a very, very good team. They've had some struggles here and there, especially against the Predators, where they had that. That was a crazy game too. That last game where they won 1-0, with a minute and something odd goal left. But you can't count them out in any sense of the imagination. It's going to be an interesting one. It's going to be a really interesting series, and I think the Canucks are going to be one that people are going to need to watch out for. But that series against Edmonton is going to be great. It's going to be really, really good. Don't forget the teams that won the President's Trophies go on deep runs the following season. That's a good point. That's something good to keep in mind. Yeah, like Christine, this was a different situation. I was watching this game. I don't even know if I blinked, to be honest with you. I don't remember. Like, I just remember seeing Pastrnak score the bounce off, Pastrnak getting the goal, him celebrating, the fans going nuts, the commentary, and then it was lights out. But I had to go back and look at it. Now after watching it 9 or 10 times, it was exactly what we needed. It was really exactly what we needed. To set this team on a good path here in this next series. I don't know if Florida ranks in faceoffs. I'll check that out again for you. Florida Panthers season faceoff percentage. This is not what I wanted. What? Florida Panthers faced off 5,279 times in 1990. What? Okay, whatever. Any thoughts on Lauko? I like this playing game one. Lauko, I think is going to be an interesting one. We might see a situation where Maroon comes out for him, and I don't think I'd hate it. Lauko has, I think, a bit of a bit more of an upside, but Jim Montgomery, this whole team has kind of said how good Pat Maroon's been in the locker room, on the bench. The voice to keep your spirits high when things get messy, and that's a really big role that you need in a playoff team, especially one where you got a lot of young players. But I definitely think we could see Lauko at some point in the series. I don't think his game is lacking enough to not be in the lineup. So I hope we do. I don't think we've really changed anything up drastically, but you never know. It could be I think he could be a good fit in this. This has a feel of the Canucks and Bruins a la 2011. That would be something. I'm telling you, that series was one to remember. And if that goes back to back, I don't know what the city of Vancouver would do. I'd be terrified to go, to be honest with you. I'd be terrified to go to Vancouver. The Bruins do need to be better. You are right. I'm still trying to find the face-off potential now. It came up with some I don't know what face-off percentage. Let me go to NHL.com and see. I don't know if it'll I don't know if we'll pull it up there, but what are we looking for? Regular season, Florida. Individual players, teams. Yeah, 950 save percentage, Stefan, is incredible. I will pull it up again here in a moment when I find the face-off percentage for Florida. I do appreciate the Yoxes. I do appreciate the support, I'm pretty proud of my NHL knowledge, but it's still not completely there. But I do appreciate you, and I'll be sure to remember your name. I'll be sure to make sure to tune in some other streams and stuff, and I'll be making sure to have this camera flipped around. So don't worry. I'll be making sure to get that ready. But yeah, I appreciate you. Have a good night. Left my lotion. That's my MacBook. That's like computer. Hold on. I had to make a thumb. I was at my buddy's house watching the game, so I had to make a thumbnail over there for this live stream. Yeah, Toronto do have some major changes coming. I'll tell you that. They do. Florida Panthers face-off percent. I'm still trying to find this. I do apologize. I have 51%. Okay, hold on now. Let me. There we go. Right here. Right here. 51% face-off win percentage. There you go. Just what? This is 19. This is play. Oh my, this is playoffs. One moment. What are we looking for? Yeah, 51.3. Not much of a difference. Either way, yeah, it's still solid. One thing that the Bruins are gonna have to work on the face-off. That was a big struggle that I seen here this game. Not this game. This series. Noticed a lot of situations where the Maple Leafs would just come out and win a lot of face-offs. Now Pastrnak has been one that's really been surprising on the face-offs. His percentage this season, or this playoffs, is actually surprisingly good. I think it's like 70 some odd percent. But I'm actually gonna find that too now. That came to my mind. Me and my buddies were talking about that the other day. It's yeah, okay, 60% now, but either way, still that's crazy. Yeah, but it's gonna be a good matchup against Florida. I'm excited to see what'll come out of this. I'm excited to see what's gonna happen with the goaltending, what Jim Montgomery's gonna make, if he's gonna make any changes or anything. It's gonna be a very fun. Yeah, no, Swayman is a major reason for this win. He's not the only reason, because we've seen Pastrnak finally coming back. Marchand, fantastic at the beginning of the series. Definitely would have liked him to step up a bit lately. Defense has been fantastic. Jake DeBrusk has been given 100% at every game and every minute that he's on the ice. Allmark played fantastic in his one game that he played. A loss, but still very, very good. All of this is just exactly what you want to see from this team here at this point. Yeah, Reinhardt is going to be the biggest thing that I think this team is going to have to keep an eye on. Even I would say even more than Tkachuk. But no, you're right. Tkachuk and Marchand, that's going to be some entertainment for a lot of people. I don't think it's going to be any fighting or nothing like that. It's going to be a lot of mouthing off back and forth between these guys, little pokes, little jabs with the stick, and a lot of that kind of stuff. But as both of those guys are, they're not really the big physical guys, but they'll get under your skin. let me pull up the goaltending again for, I can't remember who said it earlier. 950. Yeah, it was you, Stefan. Okay, I just want to make sure. Right here. Like, unbelievable numbers. I'll zoom this in too. I think I should be able to. There we go. Like, that's incredible. A 149 goals against, 950 save percentage in 6 games in the playoffs against the Toronto Maple Leafs. You know, we always joke about the Toronto Maple Leafs, but still, they're an incredible team. They're a very, very good team. And it's going to be one that it's going to be interesting to see what happens between these two folks here in the next game. Let's go, Bruins. See you, Jets. See you later. Hope to see you in another stream with some videos. You know, always love seeing everybody here. Stream in the sport has been absolutely fantastic. I may cut the stream off here. It's 2:30 my time, so getting a bit late. But I need to hop on. You know, we've been live about an hour and a half. Yeah, we'll do a few more minutes. Any final questions? Any final thoughts on this game in the upcoming series? It's gonna be a good one. I'm very excited to see. But we'll have an easier time getting through the neutral zone now that Raccoon is gnarly bearded gun. Yeah, it's kind of a situation where I think it would have been a bit dangerous. You know, he's not going to do nothing crazy, like skillful. He's not going to try and poke check. He's going to try and run you over. So having that gone is it eases the mind a bit, I guess you could say. But I did a few in this in the pregame from, I believe, game 2, 3, and 4, I believe. I didn't the other nights, and I did two post games, last 2 games, but this one is going to be, you know, this is a different situation. But next series, I will be doing a few pre games, I believe, if I can. I'm not sure yet, but that is the plan. So make sure to stick around and find those out. But yeah, no, I think it is time to call it quits, hit the hay, and you know, go rewatch a bit of this game, I suppose. Gonna have to watch a bit more of that, because that was something that I'm telling you I will not be tuning out of for a little while until we see hopefully another series win against the Florida Panthers. But I gotta tell you, it was a very, very good night. Roy, it's going to be interesting. I think we're going to do good. I think this momentum here from this game is going to carry on. It's going to be, my guess, I shouldn't say it will be. My guess is that it's going to be Allmark starting game 1, and I think the Bruins are going to have a fire line under them from what happened last year, you know. It's going to be a big series, but I don't have any full assumptions yet. But, you know, we got 4 down. Like you said, Stefan, we have 4 down. We have 12 more to go, and then we are in the promised land. But I do appreciate all of you guys. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure to hit the sub button. 81% of you guys watching our videos are not subscribed to the channel, so if you want a chance to pop into live streams like this, see all the news that we have to bring you about next series, as well as the offseason. We ain't stopping anytime soon, no matter when this Bruins team gets eliminated. If they do at all, maybe they head on to the Stanley Cup Finals, go for a big win there, knock on wood, don't want to jinx anything, but yeah, I'll be posting news. I'll keep you guys updated with everything this team has to offer, and I do appreciate every single one of you guys here. This channel's growth has been unbelievable since I've started this, and you know, it wouldn't be possible with all of you guys. So I do appreciate it, and you know, make sure to hit the bell as well for the notifications. If you subbed, you'll be notified any live stream. Pop in, say hello, got a question, give some thoughts on the game. We'd love to hear it. Love the conversation here. You can see here today, this game. The conversations that we've had to talk about this next series, fantastic. I do appreciate every single one of you guys. But yeah, time to hit the hay. So I will be signing out. But like I said, I'll continue to say it. I appreciate all you guys. David Pastrnak, I appreciate you for sealing this series off, continuing this series, and having a major rebound game against the against the Florida Panthers, and we'll be getting ready for this. You know, it's gonna be a game to watch, a series to watch. and a lot of news I expect. So, like I said, make sure to hit the sub button. But I'm officially signing out. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed your night. Hope you enjoyed the game. Hope you had a very happy and great time watching this game. Watching the Leafs go down once again. But I'm signing out. Appreciate all you guys. See you later.